Yeah, I do remember that now. I mean, Ben was one of the main people I listened to the Krypton Collection with. We were rolling around in his fucking black Camaro.
I know. I wish he could come. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
What's up? We are live. Let me make sure it's sounding good. Testing. We're just making sure we sound good, man. Don't worry. We're about to go live for real. Why isn't this playing anything? Oh, I know why. Hold on. It's because it's on my... I'm so stupid. All right, man. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Is it the end of the world? Yes, it is the end of the world. And it's also the beginning.
Move my shit over here.
Beginning of a brand new, solid, Juggalo world for us all to enjoy.
What's up? Yeah! All right, my man! Whoa! It's podcast day. What's up, y'all? This is Deck One Up. My name is Kyle, a.k.a. Keezy.
Cover it all, y'all. What's going on?
And this is a Juggalo podcast. If you're new here, welcome. Oh, I think we're like way too loud. What? Why? Why is it doing that?
We're blasting out of ears. I'm sorry about that.
Here, let me whisper for a second. I fix this. See, this is why you're supposed to do this shit early.
ASMR.
Oh, I don't know why it does this. Oh, look.
You're blasting out of your drums.
I'm sorry.
What's up, Echo Side Fiend?
Sorry. Here. There we go. Hopefully it's a little better.
Well, let us know.
Man, I'm so sorry. Oh, I still don't think it's good. I know. I'm sorry. We're working on it.
20 years old. Yeah, you're right.
Wow. All right. Is that better? I think we're sitting a little better now. Look at it. It's not blasting out of your drums.
Man, we apologize for that.
Man, my bad, guys. Sorry. You know, we do all this setup and shit still fucks up. You know, I was watching that Carnival Carnage stream.
Mm-hmm.
I found it on YouTube and I was watching it. And like they have technical issues every fucking show,
yeah,
dude.
Absolutely.
Every single the video I watched, like it said fast forwarding because there's no sound.
Yeah. Yep.
You know.
Yeah, there was a section I remember watching that where there was no sound. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It's every goddamn episode. So that makes me not feel so bad. Oh, sorry, Echo Side.
You scared your cat.
Sorry, Echo Side.
Sorry about that, man.
My bad, man. See, god damn it, that pisses me off. See, now people are gonna turn our episode on, hear that immediately, and be like, I'm turning this off, and now they're not even gonna get to this.
I mean, at least it's, at least you can hear it, unlike the Joker episode.
Oh yeah,
you can hear shit.
I just took that all the way down. No, people don't even need to hear that.
Yeah.
Not like they could, anyways.
Yep.
So what's been up, man? Anything?
Oh man, just hanging out. I just can't believe it, man. 20 fucking years.
Isn't that nuts? It's wild.
There's a lot of 20 years coming up.
Yeah.
No, there's some 30 years coming up this year.
Oh. There's a 30-year, and we do got 20. Like, I mean, we're getting to the 20-year anniversary of all this family era shit.
Yeah,
20, shit that came out in 2001, 2, 3. Like that's all. That's all coming up now. Well, one's already over, obviously, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're in. We're in the 22. So there's a couple. I mean, there's going to be a 30-year, a big 30-year, and a big 20-year this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're already at a big 20 years. So.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do some bashes. See, this one we're not doing a bash.
no bash, but
we should do a bash for like the Wraith 20th. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah,
we should like go all out.
Yeah, for sure.
You wanna do that?
That's what, November.
Yeah,
that'd be in November. Yeah,
we got time.
Then we got one coming up in October, right? Yeah.
What's that?
Carnival.
Oh yeah, that's a
30 year.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, we should celebrate.
92 was 92's Carnival, and 2002 was Wraith. So yeah, there's gonna be some shit. What was 12? What's a 10-year anniversary coming?
Mighty Death Pop.
Oh yeah. I wonder when did that come out?
I think
we need to look that up. Maybe we passed it already.
I forgot. All right. Well, look, we got
Mighty Death Pop. Oh yeah, Mighty Death Pop was 12. Okay, right.
Yeah, I thought so. I was gonna say we got our Juggalo waiting in the wings, so we could keep bullshitting, sure. But he's just sitting there. Why don't we just continue bullshitting with him in here?
Yeah, for sure. Let's get him.
All right, let's get my man in here. Let me see if it works. I know I do this every time. Hold on. Here we go, bro. I'm letting you in. We'll make sure he looks good on here before we bring him into the show proper. What is up, my man, Peter? Can we hear you?
Can you hear us?
Oh, I can hear you, Peter. All right, hang tight. Let me turn this volume down. See, I'm blowing out eardrums left and right.
Come on now.
We're so not professional, man. Hold on.
Yeah, I thought you were the professional podcast. Let's get this going.
You definitely thought wrong. All right, man. Here we go. Give it up for my man, Peter. What's up?
What's going on,
What's
Pete?
up, gentlemen? What's up, everybody?
How you doing, dude?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Peter is the host of a podcast called Juggalo Rewind. I know that you have a co-host, but I'm calling you the host because I know you're the one that like has to keep Chris in check all fucking episode long.
That's true. I don't know your guys' dynamic if you have the same. But sometimes one person goes off on a tangent, or we have a guest, and like you just kind of have to be the point guard. You know what I mean? And that's usually not me. That's not my style. I want to take over and tell a million stories and just be stupid, but I have to be the one that's like, we're on time, let's get this moving, keep the notes going.
I think we're pretty good at keeping each other in line for the most part.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you definitely like you got to keep the ship afloat, and I feel you. I was just telling Carver this morning, like, I mean, this guy is like so like off the grid and like doesn't pay attention to shit. So like I'll text him and like not get response for like 2 hours. Like I don't know if we're even doing the show today. So like so in that regard, I feel you, bro. You want to steer the ship the way it needs to go.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will tip the hat to Keezy. He definitely keeps this ship going. I add some things, but yeah, I mean he's the professional. So
we both been doing this as long as each other, man. So all right, so Peter, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate you hanging out in the wings there.
He's been, by the way, Keezy's been talking about. I haven't listened. I haven't heard anything yet, but he's been talking a lot about it for I'd say the past week. So
yeah, well, I kept seeing you guys have like a lot of really cool. I'm assuming like Chris does a lot of your social media. Because I keep seeing a lot of cool, like, you know, he posts funny memes, or like the Marissa Tomei thing was really funny where it was Marissa Tomei dressed as different Joker's cards and shit. It was just like she was wearing a purple dress, so it was like Malenko, or, you know what I'm saying?
That's actually pretty cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Just like, I mean, that's how stuff comes up, right? Like we're just bullshitting and it's late at night, we're recording something, and I don't know how Marissa Tomei came up, right? And he's like, Marissa Tomei's Joker cards, and he wrote it down. And then a couple days later, he's just stockpiling pictures of her, and I'm like, what are you doing?
I know. I love that you're like, are you writing that down?
we have notes, and just to the side, if you're listening to our episode, you can just hear us pause.
Yeah,
and we're like, put that in the notes. That's a good idea. Yeah, there we go.
I do. So I'll be honest. I don't consume like really any Juggalo media, and it's not because I, you know, am above it or anything. I just literally just don't have time, and the shit I do consume, like it.
You don't get on YouTube, so,
right? I watch like one YouTube show, and that's it.
I get on YouTube and that's all I do, and he does everything else except YouTube.
Right. So but at work I listen to podcasts all day long. So you know, I kept seeing you guys' memes pop up, people liking it and sharing it and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna give these guys a try. They're kind of doing what we're doing, just way more in depth. Let's say that. So just for those that don't know, our show, obviously we review an album like half-ass, talk over it the entire time. These guys like they spend an hour and a half on every fucking song on an album and tell you all the facts and info about it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing. I was like, geez, man, that's crazy. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, we're stupid in that regard.
That's a lot of work.
To be honest, I stole the idea from someone else. I listened to a Pearl Jam podcast that does the same thing. They stole it from a Prince podcast. I think there's now just different bands. It's not like a unique idea, you know.
Yeah,
what I
of
mean?
course.
But
it's still a lot of work, though.
It is like so the first season we did Most Tasteless. We had that in the can for maybe a year. Just, you know, making sure who had what sample, when was this recorded, because that CD is just a clusterfuck. Right?
Well, I mean, that shows, man. You guys obviously did a lot of fucking research on that shit.
I don't want to say we did. I mean, it's not backbreaking work, but we just have a spreadsheet. You know, we're nerds like that, so we keep track of that. So we got through it, got to season 2, and we're like, oh man, like we don't have a lot of time. We gotta bust this out. So season 2 is Tales from the Lotus Pod, and we're halfway through that. And we just did Black Magic, and we have a couple more in the can coming out every Thursday. If you want to jump on in, you can be an old fan, been listening for 30 years, and this brings the nostalgia back to you. Or you could be a new fan, and you're like, man, I just learned about this. You know, I want to go backwards and learn, because that's kind of what we are. You know, you latch on to something, and you're like, what happened in the past? How did I get to this point? So if you want to jump on board, maybe we'll help the new Juggalo world out.
Absolutely,
bringing
man.
everyone up to speed.
That's the idea. Like you
Fascinating.
You see a lot of these Juggalo channels that are just kind of doing like what YouTubers do, talk about drama, or just do dumb bullshit. But it's nice to we're kind of creating a community of like these like old school minded juggalos. I don't even want to say old school, because I've met a lot of younger juggalos that are just like similar minded, that are just either, whether or not they're, like you said, finding out now, or been down for 30 years and just now getting back into it. Like it's been fun reconnecting with a lot of those types,
Yeah, it's the nostalgia for sure. And for us, and I think you guys just mentioned a couple minutes ago, like we're coming up on 20 years of like the family era, if you will, which is like the big boom. And like that 2001, 2002, like we're finding right now, just in that year and a half span, the albums that came out are like our golden era.
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? Like what we grew up with. And I used this example the other day with someone, and they're just like, they couldn't believe what I'm saying. Like my Riddle Box, or your Malenko, or your Wraith is someone's Flip the Rat. Someone heard Flip the Rat for their first Juggalo album, and in 20 years, they're going to be like, that was the best album they ever put out. And to me, that's insane, because that CD is garbage. But regardless, I'm not here to say that. But it's all about the nostalgia. It's what it brings to you. Like, is Tales from the Lotus Pod a great CD? In your head, maybe, because you remember going to shows and playing it nonstop. But to someone who listens to it now, or listens like track by track, you're like, this CD's a fucking mess.
Right.
But like, it's what brings what you have inside of you, and what it like sparks of a memory of a show, or listening in a car, or your friends, or whatever.
It embodies.
There's no hate.
It embodies that moment, like every time you hear it, it's like time traveling back, and that's what me and Carver were just talking about before the show too. Like that's kind of what I feel like. We are bringing that nostalgia vibe, and there's a people are into it. People are into nostalgia, and again, whether it's new juggalos finding out, or old juggalos, that have been sticking around, man. Like it's been wild seeing the wave, and riding it. It's been great.
I actually got a question. So I would say I'm gonna compare this to food. I do this a lot. I would say when we listen to these albums, we're more of like it's like a meal that we're doing the meal again. We're going back to this old restaurant that we used to love in the past. We're eating this meal again. They still cook it the same way. We might get a different feel and angle on it. But you're going in and you're knowing all the ingredients and everything that's being put into this meal. You're essentially going in the kitchen and seeing how it's all made, because you're doing all this research. And does that take away from some of the albums for you as you go through them, this in depth?
It's funny, yes, and we've mentioned that a couple times. So in studying, quote unquote, aka listening to a song 8 times while I drive to work that day, the song like sticks to itself, like it's in its own bubble. So we just did Black Magic, and we danced. There, you could take whatever song. You could say like you like it or you don't like it, nitpick it, but then you have to think about how it flows, like Most Tasteless in particular. And you can go back, and maybe this is common knowledge, like that CD was created, and so was Tales from the Lotus Pod, in multiple forms. Like, we'll go Tales from the Lotus Pod. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place.
No, you're good.
So the songs, the way they were recorded or written, are like a 3-year span. Like Mike Clark and Twiztid and ICP do a couple songs pre Jekyll Brothers. they sound totally different. Then you get a couple more. Then you get ones with Mars. Then you get one that literally Mars was crammed into. You could tell, like, you didn't record this with everyone else. You just like shoved that verse in there. And then he leaves. And then, well, even before he leaves, Mike Clark leaves. So you have Fritz picking up some tracks. You have Mike P picking up some tracks. It's like, to your analogy, it's like, I have a plate and one restaurant made the steak, one made the potatoes. I got some rice from the Chinese restaurant down the street. Like, individually, they're all good, but I don't really get a chance to listen to it all the way through. And we really have to do that for, like, at the end of our season, we do a recap of, what we missed or just tying things together. We really have to sit and listen to the whole CD as a whole, as a cohesive unit, because otherwise then you're like a Forgotten Freshness or a Cryptic, where it's like just random songs that don't flow. And again, to your point, yes, it's fun looking at individual songs, but there's also the overall album that you have to take into account. And we don't really do that. We try to, but in your guys' case, you're feeling that more because you're doing the whole thing as one bundle.
Yeah, we're kind of trying to relive the moment, and you're just dissecting it. I can imagine that would, you would eventually be like, okay, this album isn't as good as I remember it anymore. But
Yeah, I mean, listening to you guys dissect Most Tasteless, maybe say fuck Most Tasteless.
And some of it, the way, like, why we wanted to do it, we are local Detroiters, so we have maybe a different aspect or a different feel for what other people do for these songs. And we also want to, like, go into, like, A to Z lyrics or Genius, and they are terrible when you try to, like, figure out what a song is, especially in the Juggalo world. There's so many local references that we're like, we kind of want to teach people what that means. Like,
yeah, I wish I would have had somebody doing that back when I was 15. Like, literally, I mean, half of the lyrics are like I had no clue what any of this shit meant.
Yeah, Carnival of Carnage, if we get to that, is chock full of them. We thought Most Tasteless was perfect for it. And again, let's go back to Most Tasteless, like, kind of two ways that the verses go. Some songs are a story, some are just words, like, they're just throwing shit together, it's whatever.
Like every Ouija Mac song.
Yeah. Some are a very specific story. Murder, Murder, Murder is a story. First Day Out is a story. So, like, we sat there and we're like, okay, Jamie got out of jail. What's going next?
Yeah.
And, like, we're making fun of, like, so he got a steak next to a Taco Bell? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, where did he make this phone call?
I'm glad you
brought that.
I'm glad you brought that song.
It was ridiculous.
I'm glad you brought that song up because I didn't mean to cut you off, but, like, when I was listening to you guys talk about that song in particular, like, you really, like, did, like, I've listened to that song 5,000 times, and I never realized how ridiculous, like, those lyric changes they completely fuck up the timeline of the story. Like, it's just literal gibberish by the time Twiztid gets their hands on that song. It's crazy.
But it's the same. I guess we tried to go back and forth with the original, and it's kind of the same thing. Like, we made fun of, like, the different wines that they got, or like, oh my God, he gets his steak well done. Chris couldn't handle that. He's like, the most disgusting thing on this CD, forget the murder, forget the jerking off. Who gets a steak well done? And that's a 10-minute, like, jag that we went on where,
that's great.
Other podcasts, other people are just like, oh yeah, that song's sweet. Next.
Yeah.
We're diving into stupid shit.
Hey, man.
For
what it's worth, that's, like, my favorite shit. Like, I mean, you guys, how long have you guys been friends?
Oh, me and Chris, probably 20 years.
Yeah.
Right
So, I mean, me and Carver have known each other that long too. So you definitely have, like, an obvious rapport, and that's, I like seeing that, show, you know what I'm saying? Like when I listen to your show, don't get me wrong, I love the historical shit as a Juggalo shit, but, like, as I listen to you guys, like, I really do enjoy just, like, hearing you guys fuck around and stuff. So don't cut all that out is my only request. All right.
And that's the fine line, right? Of any Juggalo podcast, of any podcast. Like, you could make it historical and dry, but who really wants to listen to that? Like, it's interesting for a historical purpose, but, like, let's go off on a different tangent. Let's
man.
do whatever. That's the fun of all of this.
You come for the content, but stick around for the personality. You know what I mean?
It's entertainment. Like, we're joking around for
Absolutely.
sure. Even just like, we specifically try to stay out of all drama, but we do make fun of different things.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, Tales from the Lotus Pod. Jay is at his fattest. He's got his stupid visor and his blonde hair. What the fuck was he thinking? Like, every song, Jamie's talking about his dick, and we're like, "What? Put your dick away!" Like, that's all in good fun. We're not like drawing any lines in the sand.
Of course,
we're just having fun.
Of
That's
course.
something to do.
So, since you guys are native Detroiters, I'm curious. Like, I think you're the first Detroiter we've talked to on here, so that's pretty fun.
We're the gatekeepers. Here's the gate. We're just letting people. And we found that's very different. I'm sorry not to cut you.
No, you're
off.
good.
That's like another reason why we kind of wanted to do this. It's shocking to me that psychopathic Juggalo stuff has been around for 30 years, right?
Yeah.
You look at podcasts, any websites, anything. People are from Washington, California, Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, and it's like, how has the people that we know for all these years not done anything like this? Like, how is Vinny, the ICP kid, not done one of these?
Yeah.
Like, he should have been the first one. It would have been the biggest. Boom.
Yeah.
But like, now we're trying to bring a Detroit flavor, which in the nice way is saying, hey, we're telling you where all these streets are. We're telling you that Soshimoko is like, isn't that great of a Mexican restaurant? Don't let ICP fool you. Like, we're telling you stupid shit like that. But like, we're also finding that what we see is very different than what everyone else does. And we're trying not to be like gatekeepy, but just giving you an aspect of what we've seen. And
yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of feeling like that too. Like I just from having been in it for this long, like it's not like we're trying to sit here and be experts or anything, and we're not trying to be gatekeepers, but we are just trying to, again, bring that same vibe back. We just want to talk to similar juggalos and put it out there. Like, there's obviously people that enjoy it, so fuck it, we're all in it, man. So as a Detroiter, so what was your start with getting into ICP then? Like, how did you, like, what was it in the air? Like, how did you come about it?
It's weird. Like, I think probably like everyone, or we're finding a lot of these when we talk to people, there's always someone's older brother, right? Like, it's always something that you taught from above.
Yeah.
I was in high school, and one of my friends was drawing Joker cards like on his history book or whatever. And I'm like, that's interesting. Didn't know what it was. His older brother listened to it. He grabbed the CDs. He started listening. So we gravitated towards it. That was Carnival of Carnage and Ringmaster. I think I went to the store. So I was working in the mall. So Riddlebox just came out. So we're looking October 95.
And how old are you around this time?
High school. So
okay.
15, 16.
Okay.
Me being OCD, even when I was a kid, I see that, but I see two other ones and I'm like, I got to go in order. Like, I can't just jump in here.
Of course.
So I got Carnival of Carnage, Ringmaster, listened to those, got to Riddlebox, went to my first show in 96 and kind of been going from there.
So wait, you saw the images, but like you hadn't heard the music before you went and bought them, or you did, like you kind of like heard a little bit, like that's enough for me, I want to go check it out.
I think I heard a little bit of it, but I'm a dive right in.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to hear bits and pieces. Like, let me just hear it for myself. So
okay,
I just dove right in.
Were you on the Isham wave when he was making moves and big back then?
No, that was my first look into the Juggalo world.
Okay.
Before then, it's all just rock and just normal pop, shit that's on the radio. I wasn't like going to Isham in 91 or anything.
Yeah.
This was all, I was just turning like 15, 16 at this time. So I wasn't like going out doing my own shit.
Yeah.
I was already like sneaking out to go to these shows. So I wasn't like a, grown ass man listening to Kill the Fetus. So my parents weren't buying that.
I'm curious about how, okay, so you go to the store and you buy the first 3 cards. take them home, you pop on Carnival of Carnage first, and then you listen to Carnival of Carnage, and you somehow make it all the way through and still want to listen to more, which is a shocking thing for me to listen to.
That's another funny thing as we go through time, right? Like some CDs, albums. I always say CDs.
Yeah.
Sorry. Some albums grow with time, like they age fine, and then some of them you go back and you're like, man, the production is terrible. To me, I guess maybe I've been different as a juggalo, if you will. Back then it was funny to me. Like I thought Carnival and Carnage and Ringmaster were comedy albums, to be totally serious. Like we would listen to them at work. I worked at Sbarro's in the mall, and we would play it, and all the guys would be like, man, this shit's funny. Like the skits are funny. It wasn't like this is musically great.
Yeah.
Oh, the production is awesome. It's like, yeah, this is funny shit. And then I think more as Riddlebox and as that goes on, you're like, okay, I can like dig the vibe, dig the message, dig the music. But yeah, at first it was just funny. Like even when they started doing wrestling, I would go to their shows, and it's like, because I'm a big wrestling fan, so it mixed the two worlds, and I'm like, this isn't the best wrestling, but it's entertaining because it's with this, and like they're funny. So I don't know. My path may have been a little different of why I was listening or why I stuck around, but
I agree with that. That's what I mean. When I first started listening to him as well, it was because it was funny, and that's what I thought about it. The same thing. I was just like, this is just funny shit, and I'm gonna put it on, and like it's offensive, and it's funny, and it's vulgar.
Yeah, it's almost like back then it was probably almost like having a fucking Jerky Boys album or something like that,
Yeah.
Good call. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so I do understand that. I guess like I was making a joke. Like obviously I have love for Carnival of Carnage, but like musically we all know it's not like the greatest. So I just mainly couldn't imagine somebody listening to Carnival of Carnage be like, all right, give me more, give me more of this. Like I could see that. But that said, like again, I love it, but that's the first thing that popped in my mind.
I probably got like all three, and then went to the first show, and then Tunnel of Love was right around the corner, so it was probably all like a combination. It wasn't just like 1992. I picked up Carnival of Carnage and had to wait another year and a half. It was a group effort. I paid $10 for the tape. I got to listen to it.
It was enough to be curious to keep listening at the very least.
Yeah.
So
good times.
So when you went to that first show, like 96, 95?
Yeah. The prom night massacre was my first show.
Oh, nice. So
Wow.
so was Tunnel of Love out by then?
Oh, prom night was April of 96. I think Tunnel of Love was like June or July of 96.
Okay.
So it was right around the corner.
Hell yeah.
My young memory doesn't remember like if they did songs from Tunnel of Love before it came out. That I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I mean that'd be hard to pinpoint, especially with you just being like pretty newish. Like I went to my first ICP show. It was House of Horrors. Within 6 months of Malenko coming out, but I listened to Malenko and I think Riddlebox by then, but I couldn't tell you anything they played. I know they played a bunch of shit like I didn't know. I remember that, but obviously they were probably just playing fucking classic after classic. My little dumb brain can't remember it.
I mean,
and that's right on the borderline of people like keeping track of this shit, right? Like now you have a set list before you're out the door.
Yeah.
Back then, like they weren't really recording shows. Like you're lucky to get a bootleg of 96 and before. So that hasn't really popped up. So yeah, it's in the dark ages of Juggaloism.
Yeah, during the era when people just lived in the moment.
Yeah. When your pictures were from the disposable camera, that a crotch and bring in. Like I've got a couple of those.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see or maybe not today, but maybe sometime see the relics that you have from back then.
So that's another. That's funny that you said that. So that's another thing that me and my friends at the time jumped right into. Again, maybe it's my OCD, but it's the collecting.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it all came together, but different people at that time, you had like your AOL chat rooms, and everyone just started making pages of what they collected. And we had a friend who said, okay, let's put all of these together so we have our own like community. So there was a website of everyone's pages of everyone's collections, starting to trade with each other. and that blew up.
That
helped,
early,
you know,
man. That
Dude,
is
I
crazy.
I was 14 years old, 15 years old, and I made one of those pages, and I had all of my collection on it. You probably had my shit on there.
See, there you go. Like that's how things start tying together, right?
Yeah, dude.
And that was really cool. Like I wish that could have progressed, but just time and you can see how their merchandise went. It was impossible. To keep track of what is out there is so hard.
Yeah. I mean, like prior to the Wraith, like you could pretty much make a list of every item that existed, you know?
Yes.
But it got pretty outrageous at that point.
Yeah, there was just every shirt, shirts for particular, because
especially once they got into like you know,
like Hot Topic,
yeah,
and print to order. Like it's nice to say, hey, the Riddlebox Christmas shirt is like was sold at one show. It's very rare, right? But now more so. And then a couple of years ago, they were just like, hey, here's a shirt. Maybe no one bought it. Maybe one person bought that, and they just printed it to order. But it's crap because no one bought it. But there's probably only one out there. So it was too hard to keep track of. And God bless the people who still do. I still trade and collect and sell stuff. And there's a bunch of Facebook groups that do it, and they're all great. But yeah, that was definitely a part of back then, you know, collecting, you know, rare shirts, rare audio, whatever. And
so
yeah, there's a little bit of that for me, but not.
So have you kept all of your collection over the years, or did you kind of get like purge any of it at any point?
No, most of it I still have.
Nice.
I'm into audio. Like I like the tangible bit of having audio, so I try not to get rid of all those.
Yeah.
Posters and shirts, not so much. But little knickknacks, like weird stuff, I do try to keep up on, like ticket stubs, flyers, just one of a kind items if I can come across them. But I'm not backstage passes. I'm super big on now.
Okay,
like, that's been my big one. At the first couple gatherings, they had auctions, and they had like, you know, all these old backstage passes. So I won one of those, and then just started adding bits and pieces. And so that's something I enjoy to try to keep up on.
That's pretty cool. What would you say is like probably your dopest item? Like the first thing that pops in your head, like you would mention to somebody like us.
Prized possession.
I mean, the backstage pass collection in general, probably, just because it spans so long. You know, so many different eras and shows and memories.
How many do you have?
Maybe 150, 200.
Whoa, that's awesome. All right.
So it's cool. Like I take them like ticket stubs or show posters. You know, it shows a history of going through.
How do you get your hands on those? Like you just buy them off of eBay or what? I mean,
so the first couple batches were straight from, like I said, the gathering when they had auctions.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, eBay, finding people. To be honest, you find disgruntled either ex-workers of Psychopathic or current workers who are trying to make a side buck.
Okay.
So I think it's just like anything. If you're into movie posters or you're into, I don't know, cigarette lighters, like there's a market for something and there's someone who's getting them and a community and they're selling them. So
have you ever like physically met with like a disgruntled like psychopathic worker in like an alley somewhere to pick something up? Or
I wouldn't say he was described, just using that as an example, but yeah, there was. I wish I knew who he was, but I did meet with someone at Lafayette, Coney Island, and buy a bunch of backstage passes from him.
Nice.
And he had a crew jacket, but I have no idea who he was. It wasn't like a Doug or Bill. It wasn't like a main guy. I think he was just like a sound tech or whatever, just some asshole. But
okay,
yeah, I mean that's how stuff leaks out. You know, the bigger they get, the more people they employ, and those people try to make a side buck. Some of them are not as reliable, or they get found out and they get, you know, kicked to the curb.
Yeah.
But
I heard you mention on one of your shows something about you did you I don't know if you knew somebody that worked at the warehouse or something like that. You had some kind of hookup maybe that you were able to get like merchandise from or whatever, like or did I mishear that?
Yeah, I don't recall us talking about that.
Okay.
Trying to think what other like hookups we've had.
Well,
I mean, we've told dumb stories, but yeah, I don't never anything like that.
Okay, don't worry. I'm not trying to get a hookup. It's not like that.
No,
I'm more curious about like I'm just fascinated with like because you're at like ground zero Juggalo central. You know what I mean? Being in Detroit, like what kind of people do you interact with that are like I'm talking about like degrees away from ICP or people in psychopathic? Like what kind of connections have you made or people have you met?
You mean like specifically in like in the know?
I'm curious if you do know anybody like you had like a friend that worked there like that or you knew fucking Billy Bill used to fucking babysit my sister back, you know what I mean, like is there anything like that?
It does happen. Like a lot of people, especially in the early days, I think that spider web did go out and someone knew someone who knew someone.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was always super negative, right? Like, which I don't know why. My boss, when I worked in the mall, was like, oh yeah, I hung out with them when I was in high school. But like looking back, that's bullshit. Like people were just saying that shit.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just going to say it. I don't care. He's not listening. My buddy who I worked with, his uncle did like their screen printing.
Okay.
Like their t-shirts. And then through that, he's got like a side business of like redoing people's driveways and, landscaping and shit. And he did like Billy Bill's driveway. So like, it's weird how that goes along.
Yeah.
So like, you know someone who knows someone, but like actually getting something out of it, me personally, no. Like I've known friends, just like normal people, quote unquote, who worked up and got jobs with them.
Okay.
I have a buddy who we used to go to shows with, and he's a musician. He ended up just being a studio musician for them.
Okay.
He worked on Twiztid's Heartbroken and Homicidal. He worked on Murder Death Pop. Just as a guitar player, like he didn't tour or do anything, but like he got his way in that way, just being a local musician.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess that's the kind of shit
that is cool shit.
That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. I'm not trying to get some secret info. I'm just I like hearing who people know. It's fascinating how that tangled web weaves.
Yeah, and it's not like again, I'm not hanging out at fucking Jay's house or like no, I've never done that. But just people who know people who come and go through that business and. I don't know, just based on how they've operated for 30 years, they hire all their friends. They don't have any professionals. Mm-hmm. They get out of favor with people. How many times has Rudy gotten fired or Isham come in and out or, just whatever they do. And so there's got to be hundreds of people who have worked there. So yeah, you're bound to come across someone.
Yeah, that's
some
interesting.
kind of shitty story.
So I'm assuming you've probably gone to like most of the shows that have been up there, right?
Like everyone, I think your time goes in and out.
Yeah,
right?
like the Hallowickeds and shit, right? Like how many Hallowickeds have you been to?
Halloween, I did 96 and 97, missed 98, and then did 99 through like 17.
Okay.
So
wow.
No matter what I felt about them, like, hey, I don't like this CD. I'm not like out on my front porch throwing Faygo, like, just, I'm not that guy. But I'll always go see them on Halloween. There's a couple of years there where I didn't. I'm like, this is terrible.
Sure.
Like, no, sorry guys, but like the year that like we were sitting there and you didn't go on until like 1:15 in the morning, me and my buddy were like, fuck this. Yeah. It's just we got out of it in that regard. But we went last year. Like, I'll always try to hit a local show of anybody, them, Twiztid, Blaze, whoever.
Okay, that's what's up.
It's fascinating, man. You're pulling the curtain back, and man. I think we need to wrap this up. I don't think we need to do this anymore, man.
You think they're just doing a good enough job? I know.
He's making me realize how fucking bad these guys really are, dude.
No, it's all good. Like it's all the different flavors, all the different everything. That's what makes telling stories and keeping this shit alive.
I mean, I've been there too, man. I've been there like, man, this shit is horrible. Fuck these guys. I ain't giving them money.
Yeah.
And then I've been like, man, they've done so much for me. I want to get back into it, and you know, the whole gamut of emotions.
I do love like when I am listening to you guys' show, like you're similar to us in that like you think it's ridiculous, but it's fun to talk about, like the whole them believing in the Dark Carnival shit and like.
Oh Jesus, that's this season in particular for Dark Lotus. Chris has to rein me in because every episode I'm like, do you really think they believe in this bullshit? And it's like, it's fun to think that they do. It's fun to put out a story, right? Like even with our podcast, like it's fun for one of you to take the pro, one to take the con, you to argue, but you know it's a show. Like, but do they really think that they like played black magic and a swarm of bees attacked Jamie Madrox, or that Jay had like a crow stop and talk to him?
Yeah,
like shut the fuck up. That didn't happen. Like you're bullshit.
Oh yeah, and they said Jump Steady went to Iraq to bring back the Egyptian tablets or whatever.
There was one where they like brought back a piece of the pyramid and that like had power. Like no, it didn't. When did any of you guys go to Egypt?
That's so funny.
Shut the fuck up.
I love it, but like
it's a funny story. But
you guys equate it to a wrestling gimmick, you know what I mean? And
100%.
Yeah, that's
all it is.
We've been doing that shit too. Like it's they're so good at it, you know. Like
I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty convinced that Jay thinks he saw a monster.
For whatever we just did, we kind of hit that point where it's like he believes his own bullshit.
Yeah,
100%.
I totally believe he does for sure.
And that's cool. Like if that's what you want to think.
Here's my thing.
Going, so be it.
Now, if a human mind can believe their own bullshit so much to a point to maybe they're actually tapping into something. I don't know. Maybe there's some like metaphysics to that we don't know about.
If that keeps you going,
see, he's my Chris.
Yeah, I can't. It's entertaining, it's cool, but like there's certain points, especially during Dark Lotus, where like I think we're saying Violent J latches onto something and goes with it. He's like, I don't want to say a little kid, but it's like a little kid.
Yes.
Like,
no, I've said the same thing. I agree. Jay does have that mind. He does have that childlike mind where he latches onto something. And I know friends and other people like this, they latch onto something, and that is what it is until it just changes or they do something, and everybody else has to ride along with it, or it doesn't work.
He's got like, I don't want to say OCD, but it's like there's something shiny and it gets his attention. Like,
yeah.
Hey, the four of us are doing this wicked CD. Oh, wait a minute. Who's this guy? Oh, your name is Mars? Oh, what? Oh, we're going to pull you. Now you're my 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you didn't like answer my phone call yesterday. Fuck you. Yeah. Like ABK get in here. Like he's like very back and forth with that. And it's like, just stick to one gimmick. Like,
he really gets in his emotions too. I think Jay does.
Yeah. And I don't want, this is going down a rabbit hole, but like, it's probably a little sad, right? Like he is emotional. He has, mental, and we all have mental issues, but like he's got something going on. He just wants to be liked, and he is like, he's revered by a ton of people, but like he's just still trying to find himself, and it's kind of weird. And
at that age, still, it is weird at that age.
Like, cause I mean, he's like, I truly believe like he has like genius qualities, like as far as a businessman and ideas man, and just a character creator. You know what I mean? A world builder. Like I truly think he has like genius capabilities. So the problem though is that like he was being revered as this genius in his 20s and 30s, and now he's turning 50, and he's been kind of stunted since he was fucking 19 years breathing smog or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's probably a little bit of that, but I mean you can't knock his hustle, man. This dude knows what the fuck he's doing, and he's created this fucking a beautiful labyrinth that we're all stuck in. You know what I mean?
Right. To say it's an empire is not even like the right word. Did you guys watch the movie? Was that last year, the documentary?
Yeah, I watched it.
I still haven't seen it yet, but
it's like to say it's even a subculture isn't giving it its own just due. Like,
it's a universe.
His Marvel universe, like with its own, and we bring that up on the podcast, like its own vocabulary, its own characters, its own history. it's weird, but it's something that not very many people can say they did.
Oh,
So,
it's not a common thing in music for sure.
no.
I did want, speaking of the vocabulary, I did want to ask this. Personally, I hate the fucking word "neddin." I think it's lame. I think it's it's so stupid. Like, was that Detroit slang or is that just ICP shit?
I think it's just them. We dove into that. Fuck, what song was it? Was it Hound Dogs? Maybe Spin the Bottle?
Oh, okay.
Spin the Bottle. We had one of our non-Juggalo friends who's a comedian.
Oh, I liked him a lot.
Come on our episode, and he's just like, what is this shit? Like, what is he talking about? And I think we dug into it, and ICP said that they made up that word. It was like from them and their friends, not a Detroit thing.
Yeah, it's
and
so lame. Like I've thought it was so whack that they've called it a neddin for so long. Like I'm like, just say pussy, you fucking pussies. Like stop calling it neddin. I mean, I get they did it probably just to like censor themselves.
Record label shit. Yeah,
I get that, man. But it's like they still say like, oh, you fucking getting some neddin. Like,
I just think it started out as record label shit. They probably had to censor themselves and figure out words. And I think they've even said that we had to, that's why a lot of their slang got invented, though. You know,
it's just pet peeve shit. I'm just pet peeving, but
No, I'm with you.
But it got to a point where now we're in the PC era. We're in the SJW cancel culture era. So now it's like they kind of have to keep saying it.
Yeah, I guess so.
They're gonna,
Neddin.
Yeah, and it's part of their lore.
Yeah.
Like they've said it for so long, and there's so many words like that I think they just used as their own vocabulary. Ninja.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking stupid. I hate when people say that, but like I think they used it before they were even, musicians, and they've just brought it along. So,
yeah, it's wild.
I really think Jamie made that. ICP were doing it. You heard it in Riddlebox and
I mean, the song "Ninja," "Tunnel of Love." Is that
yeah, Tunnel of Love, and then you kind of heard it after that. But I think when they did their the movie Big Money Hustlers with the ninjas and Magic Ninja, what it really started getting. I remember that's when it really started popping off right there.
Interesting.
We'd have a whole thing on just vocabularies or origin stories.
Yeah. Oh, like
trust me, we have stupid ideas. We may be doing stupid shit like that in the future.
Hell
So.
yeah.
We had a theory, me and my friends back in the day, that ninja was a play on the other N word. That it's just white people did they didn't want to say it because they were white, but ninja were they could fit that in there and that worked.
I could see that at the time thinking that, but now looking back at how Jay and Jumpsteady were so into their kung fu ninja movies and that shit, I can see where they just grabbed it from there.
Yeah.
So I get it, and I think we probably all thought that back then too, but peeking behind their curtain that they've done for the past couple of years, like with their Patreon stuff, I just think that's them being 10-year-old nerds running around listening to watching that shit.
Yeah. So I did want to ask you guys, you did the She Ain't Afraid episode, which was it was really funny to me because you guys were so fucking grossed out by it, and it made me laugh because you guys were almost hesitant to even fucking discuss the vulgarity of this song.
Disgusting. Yes, I agree.
But it made me laugh, and I thoroughly enjoyed the episode. You guys did a great job breaking down the ridiculousness and speculating in the size of Jamie's dick and everything. But I did want to. I'm curious. We've brought that up a few times. How every album has to have what I like to refer to as the bitch song. You know what I mean? What was your thoughts on the final track of Fearless Fred Fury?
Oh, jeez, was that the?
I don't even remember what it's called because I've only listened to it a few times.
All I know it as is the choker with her panties.
Yeah, it's horrible. I listened to it once and I'm like, this is the most vulgar, disgusting bullshit that they've ever done.
Yeah,
so,
man. The preface with the little intro to it and shit. This is the most disgusting song you'll ever hear, or whatever the fuck.
I like it rough.
Yeah,
I like it rough.
I can tell you, I've only listened to that once. I'm like it's not. I agree with you, and I think we bring that up with most tasteless. Especially in that era, you have a formulaic way to do a CD. You have the sex song, the weed song, the party song, the fight song, and they all kind of fell into that. But yeah, God, every CD since then, they have to throw on that disgusting, Shane Afraid or Dirty Little Girl.
Oh yeah, on this one
it's
song. on Mirror Mirror's Dirty Little Girl, right? Is that the one on this one?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, thanks for the pussy, baby.
Now I got to go.
I get that that's how people talk. That's not me. I've never been that guy.
Nah.
And I get it. It's entertaining, but like, you're not bumping that in the car. You're not pulling up to someone and you're like, yeah, and we danced. Like, you hear what we're doing here?
I think I think there were eras and there were times when they did it right. They made the sex song and it was clever enough that it was done right. Like I think Cherry Pie is a good one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Things like that. So, but yeah, when it's just on like just so vulgar on Front Street, and it's like this is not going to age well.
Yeah, it's odd. It's odd choices. I mean, whatever. We all do it, I guess.
When we do Fred Fury and we get to that last song, we'll get you guys on.
All right, sure.
So maybe in 2042.
I was gonna say, like, with your guys' format, dude. I mean, you could do what 2 to 3 albums a year. You got a long fucking way to go.
Yeah,
man. It's gonna be a while.
We have to be very, very particular with what we pick, and that's kind of a game we've been playing over the past couple of years of what can we do and why do we do it?
Yeah.
We can't go in order. It has to be very specific.
Sure. So. No, I mean, I think your guys' choices are interesting. Like the starting with Most Tasteless out the gate with this with a podcast called Juggalo Rewind is an interesting choice. I liked it. I was like, okay, like Juggalo Rewind, you're going right for the Twiztid album and then right to Dark Lotus. It was interesting choices for sure.
You know what? Hell, I would like to see you guys dive into Hell's Pit because I've always had issues with that album, the way it sounds and how it's put together, some of the production and stuff. So I'd really like to hear that. Your guys' take
That's
on that
one that I think, looking back, you would have to do. It's better being all encompassing than track by track. Because in my head, that first 8 songs are awesome, and then it hits a point and it just
gets weird.
Mm-hmm.
But track by track, I bet they're all okay. But yeah, all over, it may be a little bit of a mess. But yeah, that's an interesting one. We're trying to nitpick ones that have good lyrics or stories that we can tell. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but we're gonna try to spread the love around just to make it interesting.
All right. Well, Peter, look, I'm not gonna hold you up too much longer. I did want to. We are going over Mirror today, which we'll let you go before we get into that. But did you have any thoughts or stories or tales you want to share regarding this album? Any memories you want to drop on us?
Thinking about it, I've always thought that I went to 3 shows in a row, but I don't think I did. Looking at the history, but yeah, that was the era of me and my friends go to every single show possible. We went to Detroit and Toledo, and then I think the next week we went to Columbus. And at the time we were I think we were chasing a sampler. We're like, oh, we heard that the sampler's coming out, or we wanted to see this. In retrospect, that tour was awesome. For the time, I don't know, you had Twiztid, ABK Blaze, and Zug Island, which is our bread and butter. And we're like, oh, they're playing in Columbus? Get in the car, let's go. So, in that aspect, it was definitely the heart of me and my friends doing as much as we could, going all over. The CD itself, I'm sure you guys will touch on. At the time, I didn't like it. I think it's aged well, but it's not in my top tier of favorite albums. It also has the distinction of being stuck between Most Tasteless Freak Show and Green Book. That's kind of a hard place to be.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's okay. It's not their best, but it's not their worst.
It's a very family era album. You know what I mean? I think it does encompass the time pretty well. As I was re-listening to it today, I did get I could feel they were in it. They were in the Juggalo family. While they're making that album.
Production could probably be a little better. I feel like that first couple songs sounds like they're underwater for some reason.
Yeah, they took some weird liberties. Like I'm not sure like what why they went some of the directions they went, but you are right. It was a very odd sound coming right off a Freak Show, especially.
Yeah, it's not the best, but it'd be interesting to go through and deep dive all their stuff and try to pinpoint, again, not to be negative, where did they decide this ain't for us? And maybe there's some seeds of that in that CD. Maybe there's some seeds of it in the Green Book, and those kind of come to fruition, 10, 15 years later, 20 years later. But yeah, I don't know. That's more of a deep dive thing, I think. At the time, there's just an interesting little plug-in between, I think, two very well-received CDs, and I think it's aged well. But
yeah, I agree. I don't know if I went to the. I'm sure we probably went to the show. Do you remember going to the Mirror show here? I mean, because if it was in Columbus, I'm sure we were there.
Yeah, because we were going to everything back then too, but it doesn't stick out.
Yeah,
it really doesn't stick out for me.
But
what was the one where they had Bone with them?
Oh, I don't
remember that. They were touring with Bone.
Yeah, I remember because we went in Columbus. Bone closed, so we watched Twiztid. And I went outside and we hung out with Twiztid.
Oh, okay.
It was cool.
Yeah, just trying to prepare for talking to you guys. I tried to think of all of my Columbus stories, but yeah, that one doesn't resonate as like something happened that was out of the ordinary. Or like
that's a badass lineup though. Like you keep a spreadsheet of all your fucking concerts, right?
I'm a huge nerd. Yes, I have a Google Doc of every concert that I've been to, who I went with, when it was, do I have a ticket stub, where did I sit, to try to like.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Crazy, I wish I'd have done that. Fuck, that's sweet.
And I wouldn't say it's never too late, but if you go to one more show, that's one more show you're gonna forget.
Yeah.
So gotta jump on it. But,
yeah, man.
Yeah, just real quick, my Columbus history, the ones that I remember for stories like that: Diamonds Raining tour, giant snowstorm, and then the Malenko Juggalo day. We got stuck on the highway because of the ice storm. So thanks a lot, Columbus.
Yeah,
that's for you, Columbus. I'm a Michigan fan.
Yeah,
that's all for you,
dude. Hey, your weather's just as bad as ours, and I know you feel it, so I get it.
Oh, I feel it, but that day after a subpar concert, I'm sitting on the highway, dead stopped. I get home in time to go to work, and then I have to go to work. Like, that was terrible. Did you guys go to that, the Juggalo day for Malenko?
Yeah, I went. Did you go to that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely went. We met Vinny the ICP kid there. I was there with my buddy Josh. Yeah. We met Vinny the ICP kid.
I know we're going off the rails here, but I'll make this quick. Like, did you guys feel that show was, like, how would you grade that? Because everyone I went with was like, we can't put our finger on it, but it was subpar. And was it?
I don't even remember it.
Or did like...
Yeah, I remember it.
I know I went, but I don't remember it.
I remember it being fine. I guess I didn't have any thoughts of it being not great, but I mean, I don't think I paid too much attention. I was more like hanging out with juggalos and stuff during the show, I guess.
Yeah.
But
that was during an off time for me, but I just went just because it was like the Malenko thing, and I just went. But it was during like a multi-year thing where I didn't care about ICP and I wasn't doing shit. I wasn't listening. And
no, that's fair. We all have it. It's all good.
Did you go to that? Did you go to that $5 gorilla concert they had here?
No.
where they unveiled they shot the video here of that cipher, and then they unveiled Ouija.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. I didn't. Well, it was a weird thing. They announced the show like a week before the show.
I remember that one being great.
Yeah, it was great. That's what I was going to ask you. If you went to it, I was going to be like, that one was pretty sweet. I remember that one.
Yeah.
I did it was a Jay's 40th birthday party down there. I went to that, and that was really cool.
Oh, okay. Was that when they were touring alone?
I thought it was just like a one-shot show. I don't think it was in the middle of a tour.
No, I've skipped that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Oh, well. All right, Peter, listen.
Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, man. We love that you took some time out to hang out with us today and schooled us on some shit. Everybody needs to check out your show. Tell them where they can hear it and find out.
So it's Juggalo Rewind. So if you go any on your social medias, that's Juggalo RWD. Kids, the rewind button on the old tape and CD player, that's where that came from. Maybe you don't know that anymore, but yeah, we're on Twitter, Instagram are our main ones. You can find our website, juggalorewind.com. We do wrestling. We have our own wrestling stuff that we do on the side too. If anyone's in the area and wants to see us, we're going to be at Astronomicon, which is Twiztid's comic convention here and coming up in a couple of weeks.
And what are you doing there?
So we have a wrestling t-shirt company.
Okay.
And we always have a booth there because they have wrestlers, as guests. The last couple of years, we've hosted their trivia. So we host wrestling, Juggalo, and pop culture trivia. Side note, again, if anyone goes, Blaze always hosts the Juggalo trivia with us. And it's not about the trivia. It's about getting him to tell a story. And he has like the best memory in the world. So we'd have an HOK question and he'd be like, man, I saw them performing in Ipsy in 1997 and this happened. And like, we had a Bone Thugs question and he's just like, I'm going to tell you about the highest I've ever been. And I was on tour with them. And like, so it just goes, it's almost like not a shoot interview, but it's just story time with Blaze.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
That is pretty cool. Yep.
Every year we try to like get a question about one of his songs to get him to sing it a cappella because like it'll be like, what was this lyric, and everyone comes in with the answers, and then I was just like, how does that go?
Yeah.
And he would just sing it.
That's
and I'm
great.
Like, this is what we're trying to do. Like, we're just trying to have fun. So yeah, we're there in multiple capacities with the wrestling stuff, and now with the Rewind, trying to just get people to listen and talk about stories and see if they did their seance with Dark Lotus. And
I'm looking forward to hear how that goes.
Stupid. Just skip that episode. We don't need to worry about it.
Oh, shit, that's so funny. All right,
but yeah, that's us in a nutshell.
Well, thanks, Peter. We appreciate you hanging out with us, man. Hopefully you can come back, do it again sometime. And, if you ever want to have us on, man, let us know. We'll come check out Juggalo Rewind.
Got you penciled in for Fred Fury, no problem.
Hell yeah, man, we'll be there. I like it rough. All right, Peter.
Right.
Thanks, man. Catch you later.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
See you, dude. All right, man. That was it. Peter.
Cool. Man, I'm telling you, man, that's fascinating.
Cool ass dude, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter knows his shit, dude. Like, if anybody, just wants to get schooled on some Juggalo shit, especially like I said, they got all of Most Tasteless, and they went through the OG, and then they went through all the new tracks from the re-release after. So, it's a real deep dive. I'm excited to hear what else they end up going through, man, because I'm learning shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the thing. Is like, man, what are they doing next?
We gotta make sure whatever they do next is something we've already done, so I don't spend the whole show saying Juggalo Rewind said.
Yeah.
Like I did last week.
Try not to do that, huh?
Yeah, try not to. All right, man. All right, well, let's get into fucking Mirror Mirror. You ready?
Yeah, man. Mirror.
Yeah. Go ahead, talk about it.
I mean, I kind of agree with what he was saying. It didn't wow me when it came out.
Sure.
But I thought it was cool, I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool.
I was kind of confused by it because I don't remember them really hyping it up much.
I don't either.
Like they kind of just dropped, like it was like in 2 months, Mirror is coming out or whatever. You're like, fucking new Twiztid?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what year it came out. I'll have to look it up on Wikipedia here.
It's and with artists, with rappers, they know they'll put different levels of effort into different projects.
Who will?
Just artists.
Okay.
Just in general. Especially recording artists. So if they know this is going to be a just kind of like, let's just drop this and, it's going to be one of those things.
Yeah.
They're not going to put the effort there that they did with Freak Show or Green Book.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because, it does say on Wikipedia that it's an EP because, it is 11 songs. So, yeah, I guess that's fair enough to say. But it's weird because it's kind of like, it feels like it's a full CD, Like 11 songs, that's quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the album is only a little over a half hour long, too, I guess.
Nope.
So this says it came out April 9th, 2002. So what's this? 7 months before Wraith. Let's see. Production handled by Fritz and both Twiztid members. Yada yada. All right.
Now that being said, as far as me not really caring that much about it back then, thought it was cool, but I do agree with the aging. statement that it has aged better.
Yeah.
And yeah, now when I listen to it, I really do like that kind of grimy,
Like
just
almost amateur sound.
But
Not like the sound, I guess, but like the production, I guess. Maybe.
yeah, I would say like the House of Crazies has that like amateur quality to it, but it's like that, it's like that charm to it. It's got that amateur charm that you really like about the House of Crazies. But this one it's a higher level, I would say, than like a House of Crazies amateur kind of thing. I mean, it's way higher production level than like that type of shit.
Sure. So far we listened to the intro. The intro was pretty cool. Hold on, let me go back and play that real quick, just to skim through it. There's something I wanted to say about it. Oh, it's just like Jamie kind of like talking about how shitty his life is or shit. Then like he breaks a mirror and then like. So like the concept for this album confused me I remember when it came out, because the cover is weird. Like it's just their faces and like what I'm assuming is like a kind of like a mirror type of shape or whatever. But the cover is it's just odd, right? Like I don't know.
It's essentially just a photo shoot, and then they
put a weird border around it.
Yeah, they put some shit around it, but
like there was no lore with mirror. Like they didn't say much about it. Like I didn't know quite what they were getting at. Like why make this album?
I'll tell you exactly what the mirror reference is. This is ritualistic seance type of shit.
Oh, okay.
That's Twiztid has always kind of, if you go, as a whole, deep dive, whatever you want to do. But if you look at Twiztid as a whole, they've kind of always had that ritualistic seance type of thing with their gimmick.
Sure.
So I think this was just a part of that.
Okay, I'll buy that. I do like the photo shoot that's in the booklet. There's some pretty cool pictures. I haven't looked at that booklet in probably 20 years.
Yeah, there's some good lighting to it. They lit the photo shoot pretty good, and yeah. But yeah, I think that's what the mirror is, man. It's like, they're looking in the mirror and they're trying to essentially summon something.
Interesting.
Whether it be like something inside them or something they want to use.
Well, this song in particular is called Reflection. So this is like what I would assume is like the kind of like the title track, right? But this song, I don't recall. Well, it'll all be explained in the book.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like they were just loosely trying to build a little bit of lore.
Okay. But
for
this song,
the Green Book.
This song, yeah, I would say this song in particular, I look as just like a shit talking song.
Yeah.
But I maybe there is a deeper meaning in the lyrics that I'm not quite seeing. I don't know. Let me look up the lyrics. I really right off the bat I did not love the album. I'll say that. I thought it was weird. Like I just didn't know what, like, coming off Freak Show again, like it wasn't the same sound. It was a more like almost stripped down. I was just confused.
Yeah.
But I had my truck at the time and I had a system in the truck. And this fucking album bumps like a motherfucker, dude.
I remember that.
I bumped the fuck out of this album, dude.
Yeah, I do remember the bass in this album.
It was great. The
Yeah.
World, especially that song, The World, that song fucking will knock your socks off. You got some good system going. Like these days, I don't give a shit about system. I think it's fucking lame and stupid. But back when I was 17 years old, you know, when this shit came out, that was the shit, dude.
Yeah. I would also say the Mirror is even almost a play on what, like, the entirety of, like, ICP and Psychopathic was kind of doing. The Dark Carnival is essentially holding a mirror up to humanity and your evil deeds, showing you what you are, right?
Okay, yeah.
Showing you, like, the reflection of yourself, judging you type of thing. It's almost like this is just more of kind of a literal version of that, you know?
Yeah,
what
I can
mean?
see
It's just
that.
Mirror. Let's take that whole concept of showing the evil side of people and things like that.
It's like the flip side.
Yeah, and Twiztid are it seemed like their early gimmick was that's what they embodied. Like they embodied the evil side of things. As where ICP were kind of messengers to show you, but like they didn't necessarily embody that. You know,
I get that.
They did killing and they killed evil people, and they, every now and then they'd kill innocent people, but I think Twiztid really liked to embody that evil tendency and shit.
Yes, I mean it's good thoughts. You know, I haven't acknowledged the chat much today. Let me just see what's cracking over here. C. Peterson, nobody man, thanks for hanging out. Rodney Miller, we see you. We'll shout you out. We don't want to interrupt our interviews. You know what I'm saying? We see you though. We see you over there, Gage Von Wild. They're saying C. Peterson. He said Mirror Mirror mostly fell flat. All right. Yeah, I mean, like, the first song in particular is just okay. Shit talking song. This is my favorite song in the album, The World. I don't know what it is. I really love this song. I really love how Jamie spits, like, on his verse right here. I love how the beat comes in here in a second. That part, fucking slaps. Like, the beat on this fucking song is great. I love it.
Yeah.
Better rope, but you get stoned.
Yeah, I think these types of songs, I mean, I do think they aged well. Like,
Is this a boom bap? Is that what you call that?
Yeah, I mean, the drum beat for sure.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
But I think this kind of aged well. I think these songs aged well. It's got that underproduced, grimy kind of underground feel.
Yeah. Weird effects on the hook, you know, interesting.
And I think you really, with this, like, you kind of really saw, like, dark, like, you know, how dark they could get. You know, I just remember this, just the aura of darkness. Like, almost like evil, you know? Like, you're like, damn, man, Twiztid, you know, they're fucking dark.
Yeah. This album did kind of solidify that. Like, very, very dark shit. I mean, they really did a good job. They're, like, scary. Like, this is, like, some scary shit.
Yeah, there's not a lot of funny shit on this album.
Fucked up on. Here it is. Perfection, I got it. My world, my way, and I'm a grown ass man, dog. So bitch, don't play.
Yeah,
See, there goes mentioning his reflection again.
yeah. I mean, that's a running thing through this album. But I think a lot of this was, I mean, lyrically, a lot of it just kind of seems like it was just thrown together. Like, let's just, you know, throw some shit together.
Sure. It's not a lot of cohesiveness. It's not like they set out to make the album Mirror Mirror.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they're not telling too many stories. They're not.
I think they did experiment. I mean, like, they did have some interesting, like, rock shit on their previous albums, but they continued that trend with this album with some tracks that are coming up later, specifically Through Your Eyes and Alone, which are a couple of my favorite tracks on the album too. But I don't think, for what it's worth, I don't think there's a bad song on this album. Like, this is one of those for me. I really do like all of them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I really hate anything on this album. I think it all flows together. A lot of these songs flow together.
Yeah.
Into each other.
Like, I think that's because it has a cohesive producer.
Yeah.
Honestly. Fritz all the way through. And obviously, from the looks of it, it seems like Jamie and Paul were in the studio, had their hands on it too. So
it sounds like it was, like, recorded in one place and, like, you know, around the same time, you know, within not that long, you know.
Man, does anybody know if Twiztid still works with Fritz, or if anybody does? Like, I mean, Fritz was the shit. Like, Fritz was their Mike Clark, if you ask me, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I think them and Fritz went together that well. I really feel like that. And that's why I think these albums, like, still do hold up as well as they did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder how involved they were in the studio with Fritz, you know?
Yeah, it just shows you, like, you don't have to create this crazy conceptual album, Juggalo album, but as long as you're recording all the songs in one spot, it's being mixed and mastered and produced by one or, you know, a couple people that are working together. Like, it can still be a great album.
Yeah.
And it just shows you that those ones age better. Those kind of albums.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, I really like this song too. For those of you, let's see where we're at. There's a lot of well, they do talk about family a lot and shit on this album, which which makes me that's the kind of shit that makes me say this is a good like family era album. It came out right literally in the thick of it. You know what I mean? Like everyone was riding the high and feeling it. Waiting for the 6th, all that shit. We knew I think we had heard of Green Book coming out before we even heard of Mirror Mirror. Or was Mirror Mirror the first time we heard of Green Book?
I don't remember hearing before this. And they had the add-in, they had the little.
Well, because when he says it'll all be explained in the book, like what did he think that we thought? You know what I mean?
Maybe they did. Maybe they did talk about releasing Green Book, and then they dropped Mirror Mirror. Maybe they talked about they have a studio album coming out, but here's something in between.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had the little ad in there. Remember?
Yeah, let's see that. Yeah, let me make this bigger here. Oh yeah, the ad for Green Book there. Yeah, that's interesting. What does it say? Is it backwards?
It is. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see.
It's like Old English lettering, so it's kind of hard to read.
The prophecies will unfold and it is hard to read and be explained in the Green Book.
Yeah.
What is that picture even of? It's like it's weird, like it's underground, like dirt, like you're looking through I don't know. It looks like maybe that it's saying that they found the Green Book like under the dirt, like looks like it was under like someone's crawl space or some shit, It's interesting.
Now green is a color of magic with a K. Black magic.
Okay.
Witchcraft. Green does, you do associate green with that. So they got that right. And then to me they were just building up a little lore to the Green Book, Was the Green Book like an idea they had that just kind of popped up and like they're like, man, we need to kind of like release something to build up to that?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty interesting to think about. But
I'm curious of like in their mind, like where, like what's the Twiztid lore? You know what I mean? Is there a cohesiveness to it at all? Is there anything?
It's broken up. They've had some, but I think they break it. It was there early on, but I think after a while they just kind of there was no lore to it.
Like this imagery with monoxide here. I was looking at what these like images were next to him. What do you make of those? Those like weird like snake hieroglyphic type things that are next to monoxide there. Curious of your take on that. Just something that they thought looked cool.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It doesn't look like it's anything. It's hard to even tell what the hell it is.
I know.
I see a star and a snake, but other than that, yeah.
Let's see. Through Your Eyes, I remember as a standout. Yep, that's right. There's a background sound effect that says the Green Book when he says it'll all be explained in the book. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He says the Green Book is also the name of a book used by sexual addiction people to help curb their addiction. Interesting. I'm sure that one seems like coincidence, but and by the way, on the album itself, it's always annoyed me like the even on the back of the album, or maybe not so much here. I didn't understand, like it always confused me, the imagery on the actual disc itself. Like these, is it an E? Is it a 3? Or is it an M? Is that what that's supposed to be?
I
think
know what I
mean?
It's supposed to be
like,
an M.
Like MM, you know what I mean? But it's odd. You know what I mean? That was a weird design choice. Yeah. It always fucked me up. I don't know. That's just me being stupid and nitpicky.
No, I did the same thing. I assumed it was an M, and they just made him like look like mirror frames or something.
Yeah, that seems like what it is. Anyways, this song is pretty fucking dope. For those of you, this is Through Your Eyes. I'm sorry. For those of you, it's different. This song is like one of those like. This is one of those anthems for juggalos. You know what I mean? That's how I've always looked at this song. Like, this is how I felt back then. This song embodied that feeling, and that's why it, like this kind of shit like resonated and went like to my fucking core. You know.
I would probably say this is, I think, one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yeah, I think so too. I tend to like The World more, but this song it's a very close second, I think, because they're just speaking such real shit, you know, especially at the time. It was like exactly what I needed to and wanted to hear, you know.
Yeah, I just think they were riding on that, like, we're going to hold a mirror up to you, you know, kind of mirror. We're going to, you know, show the evils of the world, you know, and kind of, because, I mean, if you look at Most Tasteless, a lot of it was either, like, really wicked or funny, you know?
Yeah.
And it was kind of, and then, and then Freak Show was really, there was, I don't know, man. Freak Show is its own monster, but then you get this, and it's almost like, you know, we're kind of leveling up the darkness here.
Yeah.
Leveling up, you know,
The wicked shit.
Yeah, our kind of gimmick, and then we're gonna explain it in the Green Book. And then when the Green Book came out, it was almost like personal. You know, they were being more personal than they ever had.
That was almost like their sixth. You know, they're building up to that.
But before that, it was almost like they weren't as being as personal.
I see. I
You
feel
know
what
what I
you
mean?
mean.
Like
Yeah.
there were characters, and
They're
then
telling stories and shit.
yeah,
but
they were characters like, you know, Jamie. You know, they were characters, and then the Green Book comes out, and it's like, here we're going to show you who we really are. And the mirror was kind of like the bridge to that.
I kind of feel that. I get what you mean.
You know, because there's a lot of personal songs on Green Book.
Yeah. There's like none on this one. You're the Reason, maybe.
Yeah.
Like Through Your Eyes, you could argue, like, I mean, that's kind of personal because, like,
Well, I think they had more lyrics in this Mirror. There's more like sporadic lyrics where they're personal.
okay.
And Freak Show was pretty personal too. There were some, you know, there were some things in there too, but it was more like a group thing. Like we're freaks. We're, you know, we the Juggalo culture are freaks.
Yeah. But like songs like Through Your Eyes and You're the Reason are, I think they're like perpetuating that, you know, like those songs and every other like Juggalo anthem type song, you know what I mean? I think all those songs kind of fall in that category.
I remember liking this one a lot. Like
What's
like hearing it in the ride, you know, hearing it in the system. I thought it was pretty cool back then.
This is one of the songs like you forget exists.
Yeah.
You know, like no one has ever said, "Oh, you know, one of my favorite Twiztid songs. What's that?" If somebody said that to me, I would literally say like, "I don't know that song."
I know. You don't remember the titles of these songs. A couple of them, but that's about it.
What's that? Yeah, this is another like just shit talking. It's got a weird vibe to it. It's got this like all the songs kind of have these weird like kind of intriguing sounds in the background.
It's almost industrial.
Yeah. Kind of like I mentioned on some of those cryptic collections. And I think that's kind of a signature of Fritz too, because he did that on Freak Show a lot too. I feel
Yeah.
a lot of interesting sounds on this song specifically.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the hooks and the hooks on here too are catchy. Like I'll forget completely about these songs and then I'll hear it and then the hook will come on and be like, "Oh man, it's like I heard that yesterday."
Dude, what's funny is this song's literally called What's That? And Genius says genius.com, the lyrics website. During the chorus it says what's this?
What's this?
Is he saying what's this? He's definitely saying what's that, right?
I would imagine.
That's what I've always thought. What the fuck is
Doesn't
going
sound
on
like
here?
what's this?
So I need to sign up to start annotating, I think. Anyways.
You keep that freestyle rapping backpack. He was making fun of like the conscious hip hop at that point. Backpack rappers,
Oh,
and
okay.
things like that. Freestyle backpack rappers. That was like, you know, the rhyme sayers kind of sound. And
That's interesting. I never
Yeah.
made that connection. That's
yeah,
a
you
good
keep
pull.
that freestyle rapping backpack. That was a shot at backpack rap.
I like that. That's a good pull, man.
Which famous backpack rappers would be people like, Talib, like people like Talib Kweli
Okay.
and that skateboarder rapper that was big there for a while
I don't remember.
in the 2000s.
Asher Roth.
Maybe something like that. Yeah.
All
But
right.
you know, atmosphere and things like that.
Okay, I feel it. This song's Left Field. This is the song with Violent J on it. Similar, like, beat, instrumental. Like, it's very, very reminiscent of, like, the rest of the album. Like, it's all the instrumentals. Oh, this. That was an interesting lyric. What do you think this means? What was that? What do you think that was a reference to?
I don't know. I never.
Oh, here we go. Somebody notated on Genius. With this line, Monoxide refers to House of Crazy's old Monoxide's group manager Walter Stepanenko, who sued Twiztid for the rights to House of Crazy's albums. Here's an interview with Walter about the whole thing between him and House of Crazy. Oh, interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah. Thanks. Who is this? 2 contributors? Mushy Mustache and Shadowlander.
So he was just calling that dude an F-bomb.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gay bashing. What's he say? Bitch boy gay bashing, consume my gun. I don't know what that means. Never hated fags till I got sued by one.
I guess consume my gun just means like I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
put my gun in your fucking mouth, bitch. Jay talks a lot of shit on this. Hold on. What's he saying here? Where does he say that? So we got F bombs, we got R bombs in this song already. Axe Toda, user, D Toda. Very problematic.
A demon with green else behind stained glass.
Sage Francis, let's see, would be king of backpack. You know who Sage Francis is?
Oh yeah, Sage Francis is fucking awesome. Love Sage Francis. Yeah, he was a just side note on Sage Francis, he was a fucking nuts battle rapper.
Yeah?
Nuts. I mean, he destroyed people.
Not familiar.
Yeah.
There's a motherfucking handshake, bitch. Oh, here we go. Dirty Little Girl. Peter's favorite song.
It does got that funky beat though. I can't help but like it.
This beat does slap. And Jamie's like singing is pretty like suave. Like I like it.
I mean,
Like,
it's funny. It's more of a funny thing to me.
like
I don't really go like, oh man, he's so fucking suave.
Dude, like
and
I remember playing this song like in the car with my girlfriend at the time. Like I mean like it's not like I played this for her, but like my point I'm trying to make is like I just casually played this shit like it wasn't no thing and like rapped along to it and everything with her sitting right there. I'm like, that's so cringe to me right now thinking of doing that.
Yeah, that would be fucking really cringe. I mean, now it would just be like you put it on and laugh about it.
Yeah. This is. I mean, this.
I
Song,
mean, to me, this is like a love song, like you know, Ringmaster, ICP's love song, Ringmaster. This is Twiztid's version.
Yeah, I
you know,
get
just
it.
their funny version of trying to make like R&B.
yeah, and I appreciate it for that. I just think like it's not something you want to like bump like seriously. Like I definitely was back then. Like
Yeah.
I like genuinely like really liked this song. You know, like listen to it just like all the others.
Yep. I don't know.
See your face. I just bust a nut.
Yeah.
Like Monoxide singing on this is atrocious.
Absolutely.
Let's see. And he isn't using Nedden for the word. Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate you saying thanks for the pussy and not thanks for the Nedden. But
Yeah.
I'll woo your bitch. The song is only halfway over.
What's a baby?
Yeah. Let me look up the lyrics to this, see if there's any annotations. I never hate your face.
You just another how. Do they still talk about women like this, Twiztid?
Not that I know of. I don't think any of their. I mean, I've listened to their last few albums. I don't recall any of them really having like bitch songs, you know. Now they make songs about getting their heart broken and shit. You know, like being in love and stuff.
Went from this to oh man.
That's just
So why was she crying?
he's raping her. Probably.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and then he says, "Your pink cookie."
Oh yeah.
So weird. and
At
creepy.
least they were kind of self-aware of
Yeah.
it, and they were like,
It was a different time too.
Yeah.
20 years ago, man.
yeah. But they were young,
Yeah.
I mean, when you're young and like you're in the fucking early 2000s, like this shit is not that big
Bro,
a deal.
I made a couple of those cringe songs. I
Yeah.
get it. I feel it. You got a grip like a balls across the bitch ass. It just keeps going. The song says 30 seconds somehow.
And that always reminded me of Shaggy, kind of. Suck this, kind of like it was like almost reminiscent of Shaggy. Motherfucker.
This song was always weird because it's called Can't, but it's just CNT. I always thought that was just a typo.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. Why is it CNT?
But there's a lot of weird. Old voice on this song.
Yeah.
Everybody, even if you're ugly, you got a chance in this motherfucker. Beat the ball.
That reminds me of like microphone chicken 1 2 1 2.
yeah.
Microphone chicken 1 2 1 2.
Louis Armstrong, I think was.
Oh yeah, that's we were saying like Satchmo and shit. All right, this song's cool. It's like a motivational song about like how like don't say can't. You can do anything. You can believe in yourself and you can strive for greatness. I get it. I feel that. That's cool. It's just an interesting song. I don't know. Just interesting. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know what I even mean by interesting.
It's not my favorite on here.
Yeah, it's just there,
Don't think Twiztid had done a sex song since Abominations. It's a bonus track from Bad Drugs. As a return of the pervert. It's been 10 years, I think.
All right, that's a good observation. All right, so I'm just going to skip the song, skip through it, if you don't mind. I mean, we get it. It's fine.
Remember remember Sean? He really loved, what was it? We were just talking about it. The sex song off
Dirty Little Girl?
No, it was
She Ain't Afraid?
Splat. Yeah, She Ain't Afraid.
Yeah.
Sean loved that shit,
Did
man.
he?
I remember that.
Did he?
Yeah, he fucking loved that song.
I don't remember specifically him, like, doing anything. Like, did he, like, just sing it enthusiastically?
Yeah, he loved that. I fucking remember that. I'm like, man, you love that shit.
Dude, we need to get Sean over here.
Yeah.
I need to hit him up.
I haven't talked to him in a while.
I'm trying to think. Did we ever have him on an earlier episode? Maybe like on the Gathering episode or something?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I can't remember.
Yeah, man, can't. CNT, it's like a... Yeah, I don't know. A lot. Well, yeah, no, this one was a good one.
This song is very dope.
Yeah.
I really it when I'm hearing this song.
What's You Don't Want to Be Like Me?
You don't wanna be like
Yeah.
What's She Ain't Afraid? Or not She Ain't Afraid. How's Afraid of Me go? Right now, on the spot, point blank. Why is that so hard? Like when you're listening to other shit, it's so hard to think of other shit. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it! I'm looking it up, dude.
We're gonna have to get this resolved.
Yeah, it has to be acknowledged.
Oh yeah.
This was it, right? This is the song you're thinking
No,
of.
this ain't the one I was thinking about. But
All right, this
I
ain't the
remember
fucking
this
Green
video.
Book episode. All
I
right.
remember that when that video came out, though.
Oh yeah, me too. I really liked it. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know why my mind equates it with that. Anyways, I don't know. Darkness is the most rock tune on Green Book. That's what C. Peterson said. You want to hear that one real quick, just to remind yourself?
Mm-hmm.
What you live with, your darkness just won't go away.
Great shit, man.
Shine on.
Like as soon as it turned on, I just felt good.
Darkness, nighttime.
I just can't help it. Is this what you're thinking of?
No.
All right, all right, man. We're stumped. It's cool though. This song is the shit.
No, it's great. But yeah, like say they did rock as shit on Freak Show, but I think this was the first time I heard
Like what felt like a real rock song.
what would Green Book would feel like, you know?
Yeah, I feel that.
There's no rock songs on Freak Show that kind of felt like this. You know what I mean?
Displayed. They always have. I feel like there's always like a couple rock songs on every album they do. Maybe besides Most Tasteless. I mean, there's a couple on Freak Show. Empty, I think, was a rock song. A couple others I don't remember. But I mean, Mutant, I think, was when they really got a lot of that shit out of them. But I think that's when they were working on like their Magic Ninja rock album, which was speculated to come out. But I think that turned into Mutant.
So what do you think about their rock sound today compared to back then?
I much prefer their like Juggalo rock sound
From
like this shit. Like it's more unique. Their shit now is just cookie cutter kind of like rock music.
I can't.
You know?
Yeah,
They're not
like,
saying anything I give a shit about. They're not saying like anything you can even relate to. You know.
Bobby's Dad. Yeah, I think I was thinking of that one.
I forgot about all those.
Might have been. Yeah, that might have been the one I was thinking about. Yeah, I can't differentiate. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
All right.
It's definitely like a hip hop drum beat, but it's got that heavy guitar, and it's kind of like, you know. But yeah, their rock sound now, I can't really. I mean, I hear them, but I don't hear them anymore.
Yeah, they're not saying anything. They're just saying like random words. Like it doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah.
They're not saying like it doesn't even feel like it's like real feelings or thoughts. Like it's just like words. These words sound good in these spots.
I mean, I don't know if it was ever. Do you think they ever really felt this shit, or was it always just a gimmick?
I think they did. I really feel like they did. Like, I mean, during this time, like, I don't know, man. Like, ICP was giving them, or I don't want to give it all to ICP, okay? Like, they did their thing, but they were giving them the opportunity, and, like, they couldn't help but be thankful. And, I mean, they got the Juggalos, you know, during this time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And songs like this got them Juggalos.
Yeah.
I truly feel like they felt it. I think it changed. Obviously, a time changed between them and ICB, obviously. But I feel like they probably still feel like that toward Juggalos, but I just think they don't care as much about it, you know. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass, man. But
I don't know. I agree. It just feels like there was something unique when it was like, okay, we are part of the Juggalo culture. You know, we're making music for the Juggalo culture. Now it's like it just seems like they're trying to make mainstream music. Like they're
Yeah.
just trying to make music for everybody now, which is okay, fine. I get it. I mean, that's what you want to do as a musician, but it definitely took away that edge, that connection that I used to feel. And, you know, I'm sure other people still feel it now. I mean, Twiztid fans love Twiztid, and I'm sure they feel it just as much as we were feeling it back then. So I'm not going to take away. They're definitely making music for people that still like them.
yeah.
But it's very hard for me to hear any charm in it anymore.
Yeah, it's like it's just a different thing, man. Like this the I don't know how to even say it. Like the feeling is just that it's not there anymore, you know. Yeah, Key. He said, "Does Ouija feel it?" Listen to his latest. It just feels like he drops in keywords for juggalos. We talked about that a little last week. We're in agreement. Like we're not. Well, I mean, I guess maybe we didn't touch on that specifically. Like, I feel like Ouija does feel it. I just think I don't know. His way of expressing is just a different, newer way of doing it that I don't like personally. You know, it's not for me, but I feel like he does feel the juggalo shit, and he really is like a down ass motherfucker. You know, I really truly think that.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I agree. I would agree. I mean, I think Ouija, loves what he does. I mean, he knows how to pump it out.
I don't think he would have marched if he didn't feel it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never got the feeling that he was just, you know, phoning it in like I did with Twiztid at some points.
At this point, I don't think they were. Truly.
No.
I think they were in the thick of it, and they were feeling it and riding the wave, you know. Even through Green Book.
Green Book might have been the start of some issues.
Yeah, I feel like by the time Mansmith and Mutant came out, like that was the decline, and not musically. Like I feel like I really like Mansmith and Mutant.
Yeah, they just got better musically, I think, until they kind of nowadays it's different. But
they stopped getting like promoted. Like I think like after the 6th, a lot of the wave of just being a juggalo in general kind of was waning. You know, like the buildup was gone. There was nothing else to look forward to, and like there was kind of a decline. And obviously, behind the scenes, there was some shit popping off that we weren't privy to. But nevertheless, man, I feel like that was definitely like the timeline for that.
Oh man, I wish I could just go back and be ignorant to it all. Just go back to that time when, you know, just the feeling was there, it was in the air, and you were ignorant to like what was going on behind the scenes. It's almost like the kayfabe effect. Like when wrestling back in the day, you could get wrestling and wrestlers and angles and storylines over a lot more than you can now, because the average fan didn't know what was going on behind the scenes.
Sure. And even if they did, it was like an unspoken thing. Like everybody just kind of went along with it.
Yeah.
You know?
You had the smart fans and they knew what was going on, but 90% of the audience didn't know. You know, it was just like it's characters, but you don't care what's going on. You don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. And that's kind of what it was like back then. We would get little tidbits in interviews, but it's like they didn't have podcasts. We didn't know every single fucking thing that was going on with these people.
Yeah.
And now you do, and it takes away from shit. Just takes away from the magic. And ICP knew this back then. They knew this. They talked about it. You know, it's like, we don't want to go. I remember Jay, I think, talking about it in the book. He would be like, yeah, after we got done performing, we didn't go out in the audience and meet anybody. We didn't like go hang out with the Juggalos because we thought that was stale. We thought that was, you know, that's what other like rock bands did. We didn't do that. We kept an aura of mystery to us. And that worked for a long fucking time. And then when the chat room age and shit started coming out, you started learning a little bit more. But that was the smart fans. That wasn't the majority.
Yeah. And then everybody got the internet.
Yeah. After the 6 and shit, yeah. I mean, that's when it started, But it was almost like a perfect timing thing.
Yeah, yeah.
They got their 6 done, and then after that is when the
veil is being lifted.
Yeah, the kayfabe effect was gone.
Yeah, it's a weird. It is an interesting divider, like just culturally and as a human being at the time, and ICP's 6. Like maybe that was the end that consumed us all.
Yeah, I mean,
the internet.
It's just crazy. Like metaphorically, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that what they foretold did line up.
Yeah,
that you could say, in a metaphorically did happen, and it was just one of those things. It's like, and then I fell off for a while because of that. It's probably one reason why I fell out. Is it's like, yeah, the veil's lifted, the magic's not there anymore. Yeah. But then I came back around because now I'm interested in who they are more than I ever was. Right. And now I kind of want to see more behind the scenes. And now it's a new attraction.
Like the music is like the afterthought now, where now it's like I'm more intrigued by the humans themselves.
More intrigued by the humans and their legacy and their history. And then if they put out something good, that's cool. I'll listen to it and I like it. But now it's definitely more like these old I like a lot of wrestling, old wrestlers now talking about, they're old now, talking about what was going on back then. I really love watching those shoot interviews of some of my favorite wrestlers, and I don't really care about their character or their wrestling anymore.
Yeah, sure.
It's what was going on behind the scenes during their runs that is really fascinating now,
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, like people who live interesting lives have interesting stories, and that's the cool shit anymore.
And Jay himself, he says he loves reading books, autobiographies on wrestlers, and that's kind of like that's what we're, it's almost the same thing. He loves those wrestlers. When he was a kid, he loved their gimmicks and shit, but now he's reading their autobiographies. It's kind of the same thing with us. Growing up with ICP and the magic was there, but it's like, man, now we're actually getting the autobiographies like in real time, kind of. We're going in, and who knows, we might even be,
part of it.
Yeah,
it's interesting living during, I guess like watching it in real time and being able to report on shit in real time. It's just different, man.
Yeah, sometimes too much info isn't a good thing. I agree completely. I mean, you have to adapt to it. When you get too much info, you kind of have to adapt to it, and some people don't want to. So, but I've got a new, like I said, the magic isn't there like it was, but there's a different type of fascination with it now, and part of it is going back and looking at the nostalgic and looking at ourselves as these young people listening to this music. That's a big part of it too. We're kind of looking back into the past, seeing how it was, remembering how it felt, and then it's
asking why we felt like that too.
Yeah, and then it's it's creating some new feelings and shit. So yeah, I mean, there's just, we could probably circle, and it's going to be even different when they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're probably most likely going to outlive them. I hope. And when they're gone, it's going to be even a newer dynamic. When we're going back and looking at this, it's going to change again.
Can you imagine let's say they lived to be 100 fucking years old, and we're not that much younger than them. We're 90, right?
Yeah.
We're 90, and we're like, oh, great Malenko. Great Malenko, wave your wand.
Yeah.
And but we'll be fucking mourning ICP. That'd be so.
Yeah, I mean, we're only like 10 years younger
Yeah,
than
that's what
them.
I'm
So
saying.
yeah, it's like say if they die at Jay dies at 79, I'm gonna be 69.
Yeah, like shedding a tear, pouring out of moon mists for violent Jay.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be funny.
That is weird.
We're gonna have to be. It's gonna be a whole new dynamic, man, when they're gone.
It's fun to think about. All right, man. Well, anything else you wanted to touch on, Juggalo related or not, before we wrap it up?
No, I think I got everything out.
All right. go to let's see. I never promote anything. Go to deck1delt.com for anything related to us. You can find links to all of our socials. Subscribe on YouTube if you're not already. I imagine if you've watched this much of us talking about this shit, you're probably subscribed, so thank you. If you're not, but yeah, hit us up. Hit us up on the socials. Go to deck1delt.com/shop, and we got a couple t-shirts and more cool stuff coming there very soon. I got my gathering ticket. You'll catch me at the gathering for sure.
I did not get mine yet. My brother's got his, but
nice.
Yeah, he got his.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it. So we'll be there.
All right. Sorry to I know the site crashed that night. It went on sale at 9:00. Like they sold out of. But I fell asleep, no joke, with my phone in my hand refreshing. Like I didn't think tickets would sell out, but I wanted to get mine. I woke up in the morning and went to the site and it worked. But I saw like Big Balla's Pass was sold out. Fucking. Car Pass was sold out. I was like, man, that sucks for people,
course,
man.
Yeah, it does.
So sorry to those.
And then
of
they resell them and shit. Like,
yeah, man. Like,
yeah, there's some. Yeah.
Y'all are assholes if you're doing that, man. For real, fuck you.
Yeah.
Nevertheless,
but guess what? We live here.
Yeah.
I can drive home and come back in
Exactly.
the same day, and it in an hour. Like it's good.
I read the way the camping works too. You don't have to like buy a campsite. You just take your shit and find somewhere to camp.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's cool. I mean, for those of you that don't know that, now you do. But yes, we'll see you there. We will be there. Carver will have his ticket eventually.
Absolutely.
And, we'll be there. So those of you who said you'll see us there, we will fucking see you there for sure. All right, man. Let's shuffle the fuck up on out of here. Hey, you gotta say the thing.
Slide it back into the first deck.
Yeah, thanks. Peace.